Hey, what's up, guys? Dangerous and Talski. I'm giving you my UFC Fight Night predictions. This UFC Fight Night Krylov versus Spann predictions. This event goes down today in a matter of a couple hours. Saturday, February 25th, 2023. Prelims start at 4. Going down from Las Vegas, Nevada, inside the Apex. Small cage for a big light heavyweight fight. Let's go into the first fight. First fight in the prelims. Aliev against Rafael Alves. And we see Aliev undefeated from Tajikistan. Picked up a nice win over Josh Wick on the Contender Series. And then we got Rafael Alves, man. Alves, he's looked good at 155, man. He had a huge win over Mark Diakese. Lost in Drew Dober when he really had Drew Dober hurt, but he just couldn't finish. And he lost to Damir Ismagulov. So 1-2 in the UFC, but he definitely looks a lot better at 155 compared to the fact that he was, I think, originally slated to fight at 45. He missed weight real bad. I remember it was a big issue, personal issue. I'm going to go with Aliev here. This guy is currently minus 183 on the betting lines. I'm going to side with him. It's always dangerous when you fade Alves. The guy is explosive. He's very fast, dangerous early on. But I'm going to side with Aliev here to pick up his UFC debut win. Joe Solecki against Carl Deaton III. Deaton, a late notice replacement. Solecki. I'm going to side with Solecki here, man. First round submission. Don't know if Deaton... I'm glad to see Deaton got a UFC opportunity. He was on the regional scene for a long time. I'm going to side with Solecki here, man. Ode Osborne against Charles Johnson. Man, I've wanted to believe in Osborne since he got into the UFC. It's just been an up and down ride here, man. You know, he either gets finished or he finishes. And, I mean, I was on him in his UFC debut against Brian Kelleher, man. What a loss that was. Charles Johnson, this guy's a gamer, man. I'm so glad the UFC got this guy. They have this guy in the organization because he just brings it, man. You know, he pushes himself. No shame. I mean, he took the Mohamed Mokaev fight. No shame in losing to that guy. And he gave Mokaev a tough fight, man. Beat Zalgas, beat Jimmy Flick. I think he's going to beat Osborne here too, man. I'm going to go second round knockout. Leavitt against Martinez. I mean, yeah, I am kind of looking to fade Leavitt, but I just think Martinez has beat a lot of regional scene guys, cans. Leavitt, I mean, hey, you know what? The guy's got 4 UFC fights under his record. 5, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, you know, I think that's going to serve him well here, man. Maybe he can pick up a submission over Martinez. Maybe Martinez gasses. Martinez has a lot of early round finishes on his record. So I'm going to say Leavitt, man. I'm going to say Leavitt gets a first round sub, but I can see him picking a decision. Gabriela Fernandez against Jasudavicius. I was originally on Fernandez here, but I've actually changed my pick to Jasudavicius. I think the UFC experience is going to serve her well here. A lot of Fernandez's opposition don't have really good records, man. So I'm gonna side with Jasmine here, even though her last fight really worried me. Natalia Silva really beat her up, but I think Silva's a pretty good fighter, so I'm going to give Jasmine another shot here on my predictions. Eric Gonzalez against Trevor Peek. I'm going to side with Trevor Peek here. Again, not completely sold on the situation. I don't think Eric Gonzalez is as bad as he's looked, or you know, he has 2 losses in the UFC. I'm going to side with Trevor Peek here, but man, this is another fight where I'm not going to be surprised to see it go the other way. Mike Malott against Johan Lainesse. I was originally on Malott here, but man, he got stunned in his last fight, man, and that worried me. He's got a lot of first round finishes very early on. I'm just not sold on the guy, man. I think this guy can be exposed. Johan at least has gone outside of the first round. He's got finishes in the second round. He's won decisions. Again, not sold on him completely either, but you know what? I'm going to go on the limb and fade the grain here, and I'm going to go with Johan Lainesse, man, because I think people deep down know that this is a striker's delight. And this doesn't end early for one of these guys. The guy with the better cardio is probably going to win the fight or finish in one of the later rounds. And I'm just not sold on Mellett, man. He's got to show me a little bit more for me to decide with this guy. Want to believe in the guy, but I just think Johan's got something to prove here too, man. And just don't overlook the guy. Don't overlook Johan, you know. Tatiana Suarez against Montana De La Rosa. Montana De La Rosa hasn't been finished by sub in her UFC debut, or in her UFC career, I believe. So I'm going to side with Suarez here by decision. I haven't fought in 4 years. Minus 800 favorite. I'm going to side with her here. She should win, but again, man, crazier things have happened. Augusto Sakai against Dontel Mays. I got to finally jump off Sakai, man. I think I've picked Sakai so many times. And this guy just, like, he gets hit and he just crumples, man. You know? So disappointing, man, this guy. This guy's gone out brutally, too, man, in a lot of his fights. Brutally, man. I think he's taken life-changing damage since the Overeem fight. It's very sad, man. He's just getting finished, man. And I'm gonna go with Dontel Mays here, man. That, you know, in his last fight, he hasn't fought in almost a year. Let's go back to it. Or no, I'm sorry, he fought in July. I remember that fight. Beat Josh Parisian. Yeah, he dominated Parisian. Or no, he fought Hamdi in July. Okay. Hamdi, yeah, Hamdi looked good, but he was on steroids, so, well, that's what his drug test came back as. So Dontel put up a good fight in that fight, so I'm gonna side with Dontel Mays here, man. Just don't trust the guy. Just do not trust this guy, man. He might start pouring on offense, but the minute he gets hit, he might fold. Andre Muniz against Brendan Allen. I think Brendan Allen's best chance is to not test his grappling against Muniz. I know he says he wants to. If he can fight smart, keep it standing, I think he can pick up a decision over Muniz. But I think he's going to venture into Muniz deep water here, and Muniz is going to sub him, man. I don't think Allen's jiu-jitsu is as good as Muniz, and I think Muniz will sub the guy. But I think if Brendan Allen were to fight smart, he could pick up a decision win here. But I don't think he does. Krylov against Spann. Again, man, two guys I really don't want to trust. I'm going to side with Krylov here. I was originally on Spann, but just think if this goes outside the first round, this is Krylov's fight, man. You know, if this goes outside the first round, Krylov is going to dominate Spann. You know, and so I think Spann needs an early finish. He's very capable of getting it, man. He's got really good elbows against the cage. We saw what he just did to Dominic Reyes, but I'm going to side with Krylov here, man. But I don't trust Krylov either, man. So good luck to anybody betting that fight in this card, period. So my predictions: Krylov, Muniz, Mays, Suarez, Lainesse, Peak, Jasudavicius, Leavitt, Johnson, Solecki, and Aliev.